Good morning to everyone. This is Sindhil from Indian Institute of Wheat and Barley Research. I will be talking for a couple of minutes on upscaling and outscaling rust-resistant wheat varieties, insights from breeder seed production in India. So I have organized the presentation under four heads. So despite a well-known fact that the seed is the most crucial input in agriculture, there is a minimum trickle-down effect of seed replacement as well as varietal replacement in India, with the exception of progressive states like Punjab and Haryana. Wheat, one of the major staple cereals in India, is largely prone to rust infection. The incidence of stem and stripe rust can result in yield loss up to 100%, and leaf rust may lead to around 50% loss under severe epidemics, which will lead to devastating decline in profit as well as yield levels. Among other factors, farmers have been advocated to cultivate the recently released rust-resistant wheat varieties to counter the significant yield loss. Yet, India faces the demand-supply gap in the seed sector. As per the recent estimates, wheat has been cultivated in 31.45 million hectares. On an average, the recommended seed rate is 100 kg per hectare. With this recommendation, the total wheat area requires 3.15 million tons of seed. However, the seed replacement ratio is only 40.30%, which means only 12.67 million hectares area is currently replaced with the new seed. As per the seed replacement rate, 1.27 million tons of seed have been used, which puts the demand supply gap at 1.88 million tons, which is roughly 60%. This information can be discussed as a vicious circle. The demand supply gap is due to lack of access to the quality seed. Even if quality seeds are available, desired variety for the farmer is a major concern. As per the low seed replacement rate, again, the farmer has to face the demand supply gap. So this lets the farmer under the vicious circle. However, rust-resistant wheat varieties have been developed and promoted under the All India Coordinated Research Project on Wheat. Till now, 498 wheat varieties have been released, catering the needs of farmers at diverse locations. Yet the seed replacement rate is very low. In the context, we tried to analyze the demand for wheat varieties in India, to study the extent of adoption, to analyze the breeder seed production trend, and to identify the constraints at farmers' field level. So we captured data from different sources, and these data were subjected to conventional analytical tools. India's agricultural policy has a strong orientation towards high yielding varietal adoption, and hence the latest wheat varieties are taken to the farmer's field through the National Agricultural Research System. Seed multiplication and spread of rust resistant varieties played a major role in quantum jump. A comparison of pre and post All India Coordinated Research Project on Wheat, which is shown in the chart, it shows that there is a significant difference between two phases. Farmer, before the release of the project, used to grow traditional land races. In this phase, seed replacement is almost negligible. With the evolvement of the seed sector and deployment of high yielding varieties that are resistant to biotic and abiotic stresses, including rust, which help to attain the nation a record level of production. After the coordinated research, that is over 5 decades, seed requirement has increased by 2.15 times, which is a good sign, and this reveals the scope for the seed sector. So this shows the trend in breeder seed production for the 25 years. If you look at the linear trend as well as 3 years moving average, it is very clear that the trend has increased over time, but as a mixed pattern, particularly in the recent past. This table shows the top list of top 10 cumulative breeder seed Indian varieties for the past 25 years. Here you can see Lok One tops the list with 2,149 tons breeder seed intent, with a surplus production of 3,195 tons. So the message here is the variety was released during 1982, but it reached its peak intent and production in 2007-8, almost a gap of 26 years. Similarly, the rest of the varieties have shown a different level of gap between release and peak intent or production. As the seed system underwent structural changes, the gap got reduced for a majority of the varieties. It is clear from this table that the list of top 10 cumulative breeder seed Indian varieties for the past 5 years, a radical shift in varietal spectrum has been noticed as the period changes. Prominent and mega varieties like Low 1, HD2967, HD3086 have taken their own slots based on the seed intent, which can be considered as a proxy for the seed demand. The message from this slide is that the gap between release and peak intent or production has narrowed down as we move towards the recent phase. One of the major reasons is a handful of improved high-yielding varieties are released consistently, which lets the variety cycle to narrow down, unlike the past period. Of course, there are some exceptions like Lok One, which is still having higher demand. This chart shows the a few cases of wheat varieties. That is, this chart shows for Lok 1. If you look at the chart, this variety was released in 1982. Surprisingly, the seeds for Lok 1, which is released almost 38 years back, is still having the demand among farmers. This can be clearly seen through the breeder seed indent as well as production. However, the peak intent was placed during 2007-8, which led to peak production as well. Now the variety has almost reached its downfall. This is the case for HD2967. Here you can see the seed intent and production witnessed a consistent increase with an estimated acreage of about 40%, which is equivalent to 12 million hectares national area. Interestingly, this variety, which was released in 2011, later got outscaled in 2013 due to its yield potential as well as other traits like rust resistance. A similar case of upscaling and outscaling was witnessed for recent varieties like HT3086 and most recent DVW187. The past 5 years, there was not much change in the seed intent as well as production, but still HT2967 tops the chart. Approximately, if you look at the recent years, a variety to reach its peak adoption takes about 5 years since its release. This is a similar case witnessed for HD3086. So this variety was released in 2013 and peak intent and production attained at 2018-19. So at the farmer's field, the latest varieties which have been released were upscaled and outscaled through frontline demonstrations. So in the past 10 years, we have demonstrated around 129 wheat varieties that are resistant to biotic and abiotic stresses, including rust. For instance, if you take HT2967, 1,511 demonstrations have been carried out at different locations, which resulted in a yield gain of 699 kilogram per hectare. Similarly, other varieties also have shown a different level of yield gain in different locations. So basically, adoption is a multi-faceted phenomena, and it's a very complex thing. And this is influenced by several factors. A variety to reach its popularity among the farmers should perform better than the standard varieties, and obviously this takes some time period. So this is called as adoption lag, and this is clearly shown in the chart. So these are some of the reflections from farmer field. At the farmer field, seed replacement as well as variety replacement is low, except northwestern plain zone. As indicated earlier, variety adoption is multifaceted. Hence, it depends on several factors like farmer's choice, their access to the preferred variety, then the existing demand supply gap. The main reason for adoption lag is the knowledge gap, and of course, varietal adoption always associated with the cost of adoption. A variety to be successful, it has to be fulfill the farmer's need, preference, as well as accessibility at affordable cost. Taking clue from the past experience, IIWR has developed a public-private partnership model for seed production, distribution, and promotion. Clearly, involvement of private sector will increase the efficiency of the system. The idea here is once the promising varieties are notified, post rigorous process, seed production agreement is made with the private companies by signing the agreement. This process is followed by quality seed production to cater the demand of the farmers at diverse locations. Simultaneously, demonstration of improved varieties are also carried out at multiple farmers' field, so that farmers can be motivated to adopt the latest wheat varieties. This will result in the increase of seed rate as well as variety replacement rate. Ultimately, this gets reflected at the national level wheat production. This slide shows the snapshot of farmers' meet held in 2019 at Karnal, indicating the unprecedented demand for recent wheat variety DVW187. To sum up, till now 498 wheat varieties have been released after the coordinated research project. Breeder seed production has shown a significant trend over time, and the national level production has reached historic level because of the deployment of rust-resistant high-yielding varieties. At the farmers field, if you look at improved varieties have resulted in yield gain. Of course, the rate of adoption is increasing across zones, but still there is lack of knowledge and demand supply gap in the farmers. So we arrived some policy implications. We recommend participatory cluster demonstration at regions wherever seed replacement rate is low, particularly in regions like Northeast. Then fostering farmers preferred variety, which are having 5 years age. This has to be promoted not only based on yield trait, but also quality trait. Establishment of seed bank is another possible solution, wherein minimum one per block can be aggregated. Then we can transform the rural post offices into seed distribution counters, because farmers have better connectivity to post office, so that seed distribution takes place in a faster phase. Then the present seed production system can be strengthened by signing more memorandum of agreement, which comes under the public-private partnership. Apart from this, alternate avenues like contract farming, wherein smallholders' rights and privileges have to be protected. A futures trading under national level commodity exchange and involving electronic national agricultural market for seed distribution can also be thought of. With the advent of the ICT, blockchain enabled seed tracker can be established, which will increase not only the efficiency but also the transparency. It will increase the transparency of the system. With this, I thank the organizers and BGRA for giving me an opportunity to present our ideas and views on this topic. Thank you.